In the bustling heart of ancient Rome, when the empire's glory seemed invincible and its emperor, Diocletian, ruled with absolute power, there lived a man who wore two faces, one before men and another before God. By day, Sebastian was a decorated captain of the Praetorian Guard, loyal, respected, and trusted by the emperor himself. But by night, in quiet homes and secret catacombs, he was something far more dangerous to the Roman Empire: a Christian. At a time when following Christ meant risking torture, exile, or death, Sebastian risked everything to smuggle hope into the hearts of the persecuted. He visited imprisoned Christians, brought food and comfort to those awaiting execution, and whispered the gospel into the ears of dying martyrs, telling them they were not alone. But secrets don't stay buried forever. Word reached Diocletian. A Praetorian, a Christian. Betrayal burned in the emperor's veins. He summoned Sebastian and stared him down in the palace courtyard, surrounded by soldiers. "You," Diocletian spat. "You, who wore my armor and shared my table, you are one of them?" Sebastian didn't flinch. He looked the emperor in the eye and said with calm fire, "I serve you, Caesar, but my soul belongs to Christ." The emperor's face contorted in rage. "Then your Christ can receive you now." He sentenced Sebastian to death, not by sword or fire, but by arrows, a slow, humiliating end. They tied him to a tree in the Roman fields, stripped him to the waist, and formed a circle. One by one, the archers released their arrows. They pierced his chest, shoulders, legs. Blood painted the grass beneath him, and when he slumped forward, motionless, they left him there, assuming he had died. The night fell, the fields emptied, silence. But in the moonlight, a woman named Irene, widow of a fellow Christian, crept forward to retrieve his body for burial. As she touched his wrist, she gasped. A pulse, faint but steady. He was alive. Irene nursed him in secret, removing each arrow, praying over each wound, feeding him broth drop by drop. His body, battered as it was, began to heal. But what astounded her even more than his survival was his resolve. "I must go back," he whispered one night. "Back?" she blinked. "To flee Rome?" "No," he said, sitting upright despite the pain. "Back to speak again." "But they tried to kill you." He nodded. "And I'm still here." Days later, as the emperor walked through the imperial baths surrounded by nobles and guards, a figure stepped into his path. Gasps erupted. It was Sebastian, alive, scarred, eyes blazing with conviction. Diocletian froze in shock. "You tried to silence me with arrows," Sebastian declared. "But truth cannot be silenced. I stand here because Christ kept me alive, and I stand for every soul your cruelty tries to crush." The emperor's face turned pale with fury. This time, he didn't use archers. He ordered the guards to beat him to death, on the spot. And this time, Sebastian died. But that wasn't the end. They thought they had erased him. But stories spread, not of a soldier who died, but of a man who would not stay silent, of a faith so strong not even death could intimidate it, of a love for Christ and for others, that made a decorated Roman captain lay down his life, not once, but twice. Today, Saint Sebastian's legacy endures, not because he avoided death, but because he embraced courage. He reminds us that bravery is not the absence of fear, but the defiance of it. That hope may be pierced, but it cannot be destroyed. That you can be wounded deeply, but still rise. He stood once for Christ. He stood again after death tried to claim him. And that, perhaps, is the most powerful kind of standing anyone can do. The arrows meant to finish him only proved how unbreakable faith can be.